All right. So I'm not sure why the first video I made didn't work, but we'll try it again. So I wanted to talk about you have to be insane to run a business, to be an entrepreneur, to run a small business. What do I mean by that? When you run your own business and starting from scratch, from zero, from the bottom, from the lowest level, everything does not everything doesn't go according to plan. Let me rephrase that. Nothing goes according to plan. Out of 100 losses, you might get one or two wins. And as you can imagine, that can be pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It can make you, let me just speak of how it's made me feel. It's made me feel like shit, and it makes me feel bad. And it makes me feel like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Am I stupid? And it took me a long time to realize that that's just part of the game. And why, like I said, you have to be insane to want to start your own business. The amount of ups and downs and sideways and backwards and upside downs that you go through on a daily basis can make people go insane. And I understand why people get into drugs, people get into bad habits, people want to distract themselves from reality. It's because it sucks. Most of the time, it sucks. But turns out that's what it takes to be successful. That's the price you pay to run a business. You pay with your sanity. And if you make it far enough, it gets a little easier because I think you learn how to manage it, but it never stops. There's always going to be problems to solve. I'm not at that point yet. I'm still running into problems head on every single day, multiple times a day. And for example, this morning, off the bat, lost a client, and the job we were working at didn't go as planned, and we got nothing done. So by noon today, not even by 11 a.m. today, we already had two losses, zero wins. So automatically that makes me feel like shit, like I hate this. But you have to switch your mindset to, all right, how can we problem solve? Where do we go from here? What's the next step? So staying optimistic and not sticking with that negative emotion is completely vital to the success of you and your company. If I would have known the amount of craziness that this venture would have put me through in the beginning, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have become a business owner. The mere fact that I was naive for many, many years is the only reason why I'm even still here doing this. We're going on 7 years in, and I'm starting to see reality for what it is. And I'm glad that my naiveness has kept me sane. But now that it's fading, I'm starting to see the world for what it is. And it does suck. And it does make me worried sometimes, but it only makes me worried if I decide to not compete. If you compete and decide to commit to it, then it feels like you have a fighting chance. That's what gets me excited, and that's what makes this all worth it, is to just put in the effort to compete. We have a lot to go. We still have a lot to learn, but as long as you don't give up, as long as we give up, we should be able to make it through and get to that point where running a business should be fun again. Now, the one thing I want to end off on is, if you're in the beginning stages of running a business, stay optimistic. You're gonna get slapped, you're gonna get punched, you're gonna get shit on, all figuratively, right? You're not literally gonna get shit on. The key is to stay optimistic. It's fine to sit in it for a little bit, but don't let that dictate the rest of your day and your next decision. It is what it is. Accept it. Accept reality for what it is. Obviously, you didn't account for something. Obviously, you went wrong in some decision, in some way. It is what it is. Move forward and figure out what the next step is. So switch over from that point, that anger and that frustration, that rage, into problem solving, and go in that direction. That's helped me so far, and that's allowed me to get rid of the anger, which is doesn't help anybody. It makes things worse. And you'll find that once you switch your mind over to problem solving, to competing, it sort of takes away that depression, that negative feeling, and it makes things a little bit fun again. It's like, all right, kind of switches it over to a game, and games are fun inherently. So anyway, that's my little tidbit of advice. Be crazy, stay crazy. You're only in the game because you are crazy, which is a good thing. And stay optimistic. Don't let these million and one variables dictate the rest of your day. It is what it is. It happened. Learn from it. Move forward. Problem solve. And you'll find that you'll feel a lot better. Especially if you figure it out. You'll be like, hell yeah, I'm so glad I didn't quit. So anyway, we'll see ya.